Hey, welcome to the April 1st edition of YouTuber Survival Tips from Flare Corp Media. Now, like many YouTubers, I often find myself out in the middle of nowhere, away from the comforts of my YouTube studio. And I wonder, how am I going to get this week's video released when I'm away from everything? Well, I've put together some handy tips to make sure that you never miss a release cycle, even when you're out in the middle of nowhere. The first thing you need to do is make sure you maintain that pale YouTuber complexion. So you're going to want to grab the latest swag and use that to protect yourself from the sun's harmful rays. The next and most important thing is you need to make sure that you continue to get mail, because mail is where the companies are going to send you your free stuff to review, as well as your loyal fans are going to send you stuff to unbox in front of the camera. Now, most people know that P.O. Box stands for Post Office Box. But what most people don't know is that the post in Post Office Box stands for, yep, a post. So, having worked at the U.S. Postal Service in the past, I know that all you need to do in order to get mail out in the middle of nowhere is set up a post office box. So we're going to do that right here. So in order to do that, all we have to do is get a little tape. I'm out of gaffer's tape, so I had to grab some masking tape. You're going to take your marker, and we're just going to write our name here, Jason O'Flaherty. And now, this is all the post office does when you buy a P.O. box from them as well, because you can have the internal post office boxes and the external ones. They just put your name on a box. So we're just putting our name on a post, just like that. And then, we're just going to pull out our phone and go and update our address. Now you need to make sure you get the right post office box number. So we're going to count here. You always count from the left. So I've got 1, 2. So I'm post office box 2, P.O. box 2. So let's change that right here. All right, and now the post office is going to know to forward all of my mail to my new P.O. box. So while we wait for some more mail to come in, the next thing we need to worry about is eating. So let me show you how to go hunt when you're out in the middle of nowhere. Now, surviving takes a lot of calories, as does continuing to keep a lot of energy on screen. And so we want to make sure that we hunt for calorie-rich food. And in order to do that, I recommend using a crossbow instead of a gun, because we don't know how long we're going to be out here. And with a crossbow, you can reuse the bolts. But with a gun, you're limited to the number of bullets you brought. So let me just show you how to load up our crossbow here real fast. We're going to just cock it back here. And then we're going to insert our bolt. There is a safety on this. I have to push this forward in order to make it live. So right now I'm safe. So let's go see if we can find ourselves something good to eat. Do you see it out there? We got it! Come here! Look, 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 look! All right! Right in the top corner. Yes! It's a little small, but this bag of baked cheetahs is gonna last me give me enough energy for, at least a good hour. So now that we've got some sustenance in our belly, we need to address the issue of what happens if you don't have a tripod. Like right now, I'm sans tripod. Well, let nature be your guide. All you have to do is find a clump of trees and get yourself a nice big stick. So we're going to plant that in the ground. Hold on. All right, that looks pretty good. So you just need to go from your trusty camera kit, Get yourself a little mount and screw it into the stick. There we go. Incoming. And look at that, the perfect tripod mount. So as you can see, nature will always provide. Now I know it can be kind of intimidating being a YouTuber out alone in the middle of nowhere, but I think with enough practice and concentrating on these tips, you too can be able to do it. Oh look, the mail's arrived. Excellent. Let's just make sure, do a quick unboxing here. Okay, so when you're opening mail, you want to make sure that you use your biggest, most inappropriately sized knife. And we'll just cut into this package here. Oh, wonderful. It's a new Fujinon XF 50mm lens, ready for me to test out. Save that for later though, I think. And also, oh, one of our fans sent me something. Wonder what it could be. A little fan unboxing, thanks, I love you all. Appreciate the free stuff. Oh, it's some new coffee to try. Well, that's perfect because I'm actually working up quite a little bit of thirst being out here under the sun. So let's make some fresh coffee. So welcome to YouTuber Cooking Outdoors Wilderness Edition. Today I'm going to show you how to make YouTuber coffee using just the stuff you have when you're a YouTuber out in the middle of nowhere. So first you're going to take your coffee that your loyal fan fortunately sent to your P.O. box. You're going to get yourself a bag or a cleaning cloth or something, a camera bag, a lens bag. We're just going to dump all of those coffee grounds right in there. Okay. Use that. Cinch it up, use a zip tie if you need to. And then you're going to get out your mug and put your coffee right in the mug. And then you're going to need to get out your name brand water bottle, fluttercorpmediastore.com, and you need to fill it up with some water. Okay. But Jason, how are we going to heat that coffee up, you might say? Well, it's a good thing we got that new lens to try out. So we're actually going to take our brand new lens that was sent to us. We're going to use the power of the sun. So you're going to want to set it to your lowest f-stop you can. So you want to make sure you're in a nice sunny spot, probably away from these trees here. Let's come out just a little bit. Sorry it's crooked, we're using the homemade tripod. So we're just going to use the sun's rays to shine in here and make sure we get our focal length right here. And it'll warm up our coffee. Should only take a minute. Alright, it's been about 10 minutes here. I think the coffee's pretty hot now, so let me seal up the lens again. Fish out our coffee grounds, throw those on the ground. And you tell me what you think here. How's that for YouTube wilderness coffee? Holy crap, that's too hot. Maybe only 8 minutes with the 50mm lens. Okay, Jason, so you've shown us how to hunt for food and make our favorite beverage and continue to get our mail. But what about shelter, you say? Well, I'm glad you asked. All you need to do is get your green screen cloth. Find yourself an appropriate tree. Do a little something like this. Might have to weigh it down. There we go. And now we can key in any shelter we want. So warm and cozy. So you've been filming all day and now your batteries are drained, and you need to be able to charge them up enough to copy your footage over to your tablet or a computer that you've brought with you. Where are you going to find power? What you're going to need to do is seek out an evergreen tree. Yes, because once again, nature provides. When the deciduous trees have leaves, you can just go to one of them, but we're going to have to search out the evergreens. Fortunately, I found a grove here. And if you know where to look, it's usually at the base of the tree. So I've got my charger already here. Going to just add a little juice to my phone. So plug that in. And if you kind of shuffle things out of the way, you can usually find a 120 volt power outlet. So just come and plug that in. And yeah, sure enough, we've got some good charge going on. So in the summer, like I said, you can't use the deciduous. Those are more USB type trees. So just make sure that when you find the port, you maybe need to bring an adapter or dongle for an A or C socket. You also want to make sure that maybe it's power delivery, so it provides enough power. But you can see we're fully charged. So now that we've finished editing the video for today, we need to get uploaded to YouTube. But how are we going to do that when we're in the middle of nowhere and we have no internet or cell phone service? Well, fortunately, we can jerry-rig everything we need in order to get that done. All you have to do is go scavenging and find something that's roughly satellite dish shaped. Fortunately, I found an old fire pit cover at an abandoned campsite, as well as a poker. So we're just going to kind of get this over here and line it up the best we can. Okay, now that our satellite dish is set up, we need to create a way for the satellite internet signal to make it into our tablet. And because every day I'm getting smarter, I know about induction and magnets and stuff. And so all you have to do is take your USB-C cable and wrap it several coils around our satellite dish. First, we're going to plug one end into our tablet. So this is a wired modem. If you wanted wireless, you'd have to bring an antenna. Now, I know that the more times I wire this, the stronger the internet connection is going to be. So I've wrapped it 4 times, so that's 4 times the signal. So now all I need to do is open up an HTML page, because if HTML is good enough to hack NASA, it's good enough to hack a satellite internet signal. So we're just going to type in a few easy commands. Okay, now I'm going to check the strength. Looks like I need to go just a little bit this way. Okay, that's 8 out of 9 bars, so we're doing well. And we'll just go ahead and start uploading to YouTube. Look at that, 32 megabits per second. Not too shabby. Thank you, science. Here's the part where I tell you that this video is sponsored by some company like Audible. But because I don't have enough subscribers to get paid for this channel, I'm just going to make up something. Today I want to talk about an awesome audiobook called The Will to Climb by Ed Viesturs. Ed Viesturs was the first American to climb all 14,000 meter peaks in the world. I think he was number 9th or something overall, maybe 7th, I can't remember. Anyway, I listened to this book quite a lot while I was getting ready to climb my mountain. And it's a really good book. He goes over all of his mountain climbs and the challenges he faced along with those. So you can go ahead and get a free subscription from Audible anytime you want for a month, with or without a link from my account down below because I don't have one, and go check it out with a free book. Back to the video. And as this April Fool's Day video comes to a close, and we remember finally where we parked our car and realize we're safe, I hope that if you appreciated this video and found it funny, you could give it a thumbs up, and then share it with your other YouTuber friends. But until next time, I'm doing what I love, keep doing what you love. Thanks for watching. Would you support me on Patreon?